Hi guys, hello. I'm back with our Tim Holtz journal, folio. I don't know, it's a kind of crossbreed thing really. And this is exactly how we left it. So I'm going to take those clips off because it surely will be dry by now. And then I'm just going to trim that lace up straight along the top and the bottom for that matter. So just carefully getting that right in. To there. Oh. Sometimes you just get a little bit that's resistant. And along here. I think we can be proud of ourselves for what we did yesterday. I think it looks really nice. There we go. Right. So there we have it. Isn't that nice? It is. Honestly, you can spend ages flapping over these, but as long as it's there, that looks right to my eye. Anyway, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so let's make a start on building up this side. But for quite a long time, we don't actually need the journal. We need to know the measurement of that page, which is almost 6 inches, and I believe it to be, almost 9. So let's have a look and see where we begin. We've got all our flippy floppies. Loads of them. Right, and then we come to this. So this is the centre back piece. This is a piece that everything is hinged on. And so it's important that we make that first. So it's a big gusseted envelope. So let's get on and do that. How did everything go? I can't remember. I think it's 1 for 1, one from one side and one from that. So that looks about right. Okay, so let's put that somewhere up there, for example. And I have cut myself a piece, it's 12 inches. Yep, it's straight out the pad, 12 inches. And this way I've cut it out at 8 3/4. So it's 8 3/4 tall. And then, oh, you can hardly see that. Let me lift that up. Cut the height at 8 3/4 and then score at 4.5 and again at 10. 4.5 and 10. But you need to work out which side you want. So if I score my 4.5 there, that's going to be my flap. This is going to be my top flap. If I do it that way, that's going to be my flap, and that'll be... No, I like it better this way. So get the scoreboard out and score it at 4.5. And again at 10. There we go. I'm just going to turn that over and score those again because I think I've done them the wrong way for the way I want to fold it, but that's fine. There we go. So this is my 4.5 side and it's going to fold to there. And then I've got a gap before the top flap comes over and it's going to go there. So all in all, that now measures 5.5 and our back piece measures almost 6, and that's fine. We want that. We don't want this to fill up the entire thing. So that's going to be my flap. This is going to be my front piece, and this is going to be where the envelope is. So let's just ink around that first bearing in mind that yesterday this ink was stupidly juicy. It doesn't seem quite so bad today. Oh, I don't know though. It's off again. Just want to do this bit as well up here. Oh, I am going to actually round the corners, but I haven't done it yet. And just a little bit on the back of there, like that, and then we'll go all the way around the outside. I think, have I done that? No, I haven't done this bit. I haven't done along here. There we go. So I'm just going to round the corners of the top flap. And I'm going to use my 10mm side, which is the largest one I've got. There we go, and just ink around there, otherwise it looks a bit odd. There we go. Right, so I've finished inking and corner roundering and all sorts of things. So now, to make it into a big gussety envelope, we need the gussets. They are a necessity. This is the bit that I took off. The top of it you can see is damaged from getting it out the pad. But what I want is, don't go right down to the bottom. There's not room for the gusset to fit right at the bottom. So I'm going to make mine about 3 3/4 inches. So I want 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 inches. And it's going to be in about, because this little one only measures up to 3.5. And this one, same sort of distance, height. There we go. And I want them both to be 1.5 inches. Perhaps could have got them out of one piece actually, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. So pretty sure I can get them without showing that damaged piece. Yeah, I can. So I can save that a bit. And then just get your little scoreboard out. Well, I'm getting my little scoreboard out. It's ever such a handy little thing. Thank you, Nancy. And place it on your scoreboard, shortest side to the top, and then you're just going to score every 1/4 inch. It's easy. So 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, an inch, and then lastly 1.25 inches. And that's it. Do the same to the other one. Quarter, half, 3/4, 1 inch, 1.25. There we go. So that's that. Then you just fold it, concertina style. And to be honest, it doesn't matter with this envelope which side you make, the inside or the outside. So I'll just start from here, fold my first strip over, and then you just concertina in it the whole way. So try and take care to get them to stack up on top of each other. Sometimes they just don't want to. But try and get them to if you can. And the last one. They are quite fiddly. I'm not denying it. They're a little bit fiddly. But there you go. Get your bone folder out and just press them for all they're worth. There we go. So you've got something that looks like that. It's got loads of little, can you see that? Loads of valleys and troughs. And it's kind of stretchy. So that's what you want there. And I'm just going to do the same to the other one. Keep folding it over and over. Wow, that looks... Come on guys, play the ball. There we go. So that's that, and give that a good bone foldering as well. Sounds like some sort of school punishment, doesn't it? Ooh, you're in for a good bone foldering. So I want to ink down here now, and it's kind of be where it touches. So there we go. This one as well. And there. Right, so I've got my two large gussets there. Right, so open your envelope up, and on the bit, the first bit, the bit that folds up like that, we're going to stick our little gussets. And you want the side, it's hard to tell you which side, you want the flat bit, and it's going to go there. Like that, that's where that's going to get stuck, so let's stick that on. And you want plenty glue because you want it to stick, but you don't want so much that it's going to splodge out everywhere. So I'm just going to put plenty of glue, but down the middle. And then take your time to get that exactly where you want it. Which is, I believe, there. I think that's right there. And it's a very warm day here today, and I'm using my EVA glue anyway, so it's going to dry quickly. Itchy nose. So the same with this one, right up to that top corner, but not over it, otherwise it looks a bit chunky. And down the side. Give it a good press down. Lovely. So you can see now what we're doing. We've got our, oh, forgot to ink the tops. Funny how things like that really stand out. There we go. So I'm just going to put ink down here and then fold it up. But if you're using a very wet ink like Distress Collage Medium or something like that, you might have to give it longer than this just to set up, because otherwise once you fold it up everything's moving and it's not easy. So just pop that down there. give it a good press, and then over to the other side and do the same thing. Like that. There you go. And we'll just bone folder that in place. And once that's dry, you'll see you've got a really good deep and good stretchy one. Now this lid, the flip here, I do want to put Velcro on it, but do you think I can find my Velcro? I cannot. So once I find that, that's gonna be Velcroed down there. But ostensibly that is now our envelope finished. We've done the base. So the next bit that we're going to be doing is here we go again. Is this piece. This is the piece next to the envelope, so we're building from the back forward, and it's this little gusseted pocket really. It's like an envelope, but it's a pocket really, and I'll show you how to make that because it's not quite as straightforward as you might think. So just give me a minute to get my papers ready, etc, etc, and I'll see you in a sec. Right, I think I've got everything I need. I've got a piece of paper that started out 12 inches, and all I've done is trim the top off because it got all, you know, it was torn like that. So I've trimmed that off. So it's now, I don't know, 11 3/4, something like that. Almost 12. And then it measures 7 inches across. Now these are the instructions for this envelope. I don't know if you want to screenshot that or just try and remember. I will go through the measurements as I do it anyway, so don't worry about that. So there we go. So the first thing to do is get your scoreboard out. This just seems a bit difficult when you're doing it, but it's not. Don't worry. Don't worry. So on the short, with the short side at the top, I want to score at 1/2 inch. No, 1 inch. Bad start. 1 inch. Score at 1 inch. Turn it all the way around and score at 1/2 inch. So on one side I've scored at 1 inch, and on this side I'm scoring at 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Lovely. Right. So now I've got a score line there at 1 inch. Like so. Score line here at 1/2 inch. Like so. So that's all I've done so far. Scored 1 inch on that side, 1/2 inch on that side. So turn it round completely, and the long side is now facing me. And then I want to score at 4 1/4 and again at 9 1/4. Okay, right. Now let the fun commence. So how we're going to make our envelope, or what it's going to look like when we're finished, is something like that. Okay, but that won't be there. So this is, we want a gusseted pocket, that's what we want. So this is going to be the front flap. So I want to take off my little, come here, scissors. Actually, the best thing to do at this stage is to ink around it, then you might see where I'm going. Otherwise it becomes a bit difficult, doesn't it? So just ink around these edges and you'll get the drift. And you can see both sides of this, so I want to make a little thumb notch in that in the fullness of time. But this gets folded over, so I need to ink along there. This gets folded over. You might have to watch this more than once just to get the hang of what it is I'm doing. Once you've got it, it's really straightforward. Right, so that's that. So what I want to do is put a thumb notch in the centre of that. Let's do that first because that's easy. So that's 7, so I need a mark at 3.5. And I'm using my 1.5 circle punch. Just punch a little hole there. Then we can ink around that as well. And while we're at it, let's round these corners. Well, I can't do that quite yet actually because we have to do something else first. So what I want to do, this is the flap with the thumb notch in. So I just want to miter this corner here, miter this corner here. That's going to be the top of the gusset. Then where it comes down to here, I want to just miter that into that crease like that. Perfect. And the same on this side. Just miter it into that score line. So that's what it looks like now. Okay, and I just want to take off 1/2 inch off there because the gusset on this side's 1/2 inch and I only want this one to be 1/2 inch as well. So I'm just going to cut that off with my scissors. I think it's the easiest way forward. Right, there we go. So I've got my 1/2 inch gusset there, 1/2 inch gusset there, thumb notch in there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to take off all of this up here. This is the piece that we scored at a 1/2 inch. It all needs to come off. So let's cut that off. All the way down to where you notched it. Down to there. And then this one is slightly different. This one, we just want to take it off down to the first score line. So let's just do that. Just down to there. And then notch this to there. So this is what we've got left. Now, don't want that like that, so I can just notch that out to match. There we go. So this is the shape that we're left with, which seems a bit odd, and you're wondering why. Have I actually finally gone off my rocker? No, I haven't. So this is what happens. This comes up like this. This folds down like that. And this bit goes under the envelope. Just going to fold that back on itself. It goes under our envelope that we just made, and it's going to be our flip out. Okay, so that's going to flip out nicely there. But I just want to round these corners. Now I've got the excess off it. So I'm going to round them at 10 on 10 millimeters. Like so, and then I can just ink those corners up. So that's that. So we might have some more that we need to ink. We need to ink all the way around here now. Because that's now visible. That's going to be the inside of our flap. So don't be put off by this, by all these measurements. Once you get going, it'll make sense to you. It's basically just an envelope with 2 gussets and a flap to attach it to the back of that envelope. That's all. And I'm going to ink down here just in case anybody ever sees that. I don't think they would, but just on the off chance. And all the way down here as well. There we go. So I can now glue that up. Glue that there. And I've still got my inch flap here. So let's go ahead and glue the gussets up. And it's just helpful to have some room in a pocket. You're not squashing in things that don't want to fit in. I can't abide that actually. I tend to make more gusseted pockets than straight pockets, if I'm honest. But this gusset and the flap to attach it to the back of the envelope make it sound like it's really complicated, but it's not. It's absolutely not. So there we go. And you can hold this down in any which way you like. You can use Velcro. You could put a string and loop enclosure, thing, not enclosure, a closure. I actually just prefer a little paper clip, and I'm going to have to use a gold one at the moment. I've got some Timmy ones, not sure where they are, so I'll just use a little paper clip just to hold it shut, and then you can attach things to that or whatever. So now I've got this little flap here that's going to go under here like that, and that's just going to look grand. It's going to look perfect. I like it. So let's get that stuck on. So you can please yourself. You can stick it at the top, stick it at the bottom, wherever. Might stick it nearer the top this time, right there. So I'm going to put collall on, which will just allow me to move it around to get it exactly where I want it. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to come nearer the top with mine. Slide that 1 inch under there, fold it over, press it in towards the envelope, but you don't want that. You don't want it sticking up like that. Although that's probably the flap of the envelope. No, it's not. So I just want to move that out just a little bit. So it's lying down nice and flat. I think that's all right there. I think that will lie flat. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, once this flap is stuck down, you can see that wants to go flat, and that's perfect. So that's it's got a little hinge there that it's made itself. Just a bit of space, and that inch. What's wrong with me today? So there you have it. That's the start of our flippy flappy. Lovely. That's nice. That's a really good start. So I shall see you very soon with what will be, I guess, part 3, where we'll just be building up the flips and flaps bit by bit. So see you soon, guys. Bye.